In the vast dark of space, a mysterious star is sending signals that seem to blink with purpose, like it's whispering secrets across the cosmos. Its unpredictable pattern keeps scientists on edge, each flash fueling more questions than answers. What could such deliberate, rhythmic flashes possibly mean? Stay tuned, because what we're about to uncover might just rewrite everything we thought we knew about the universe's messages, or maybe it's something entirely unexpected. A peculiar brightness in the night sky. A flickering point of light in the night sky can often draw attention, especially when its pattern defies typical expectations. Instead of steady glimmers like stars or slow-moving planets, some objects pulse with an unusual rhythm, blinking enigmatically as if transmitting a secret message. Observers notice moments of near silence, punctuated by sudden bursts of brightness, creating a suspenseful dance against the dark backdrop of space. The pattern might involve rapid flashes followed by longer pauses, or irregular sequences that leave viewers guessing whether it's a natural phenomenon or something more mysterious. This blinking behavior isn't random. It often follows a cadence that seems purposeful. For instance, certain known stars or satellites tend to blink at predictable intervals, but this particular brightness exhibits a pattern that doesn't match any known celestial body. Sometimes, it appears to pulse brighter in a way that catches the eye suddenly, almost as though it's trying to communicate or perhaps signal. Its erratic, almost urgent rhythm opens up questions about its origin, fueling speculation and curiosity. Is it an optical illusion, a particularly reflective satellite, or something entirely different? The pattern's complexity keeps viewers glued, afraid to look away for fear of missing the next sudden burst of activity. Vividly, the blinking effect can be startling, evoking feelings of anticipation. The light doesn't simply turn on and off. It fluctuates with a sort of hypnotic rhythm that seems to oscillate between silence and momentary brilliance. At times, the brightness nearly reaches a blinding intensity before fading back into the darkness. This contrast deepens the mystery, making watchers hang on every interval. Such sequences puzzle astronomers and enthusiasts alike, prompting debates about whether the signals are truly extraterrestrial in origin or a natural but poorly understood phenomenon. The charm lies in its unpredictability. Its pattern appears subtle, yet deliberately crafted, signaling to those who observe it that something unexplained is happening overhead. Sometimes, the blinking intensity shifts dramatically. What might start as a faint glimmer can suddenly burst into apparent clarity, only to vanish again. These moments of rapid brightening create a visual suspense that feels almost scripted, as if the star is trying to phrase a message in a code that humans have yet to decipher fully. With each new sighting, observers are left to wonder whether they are witnessing simply a glitch in our understanding of celestial mechanics or a deliberate, intelligent signaling system. A star that blinks like it's sending a message invites endless speculation, as its pattern remains an elusive, mesmerizing puzzle against the vast, dark canvas of space. Witnessing the unusual blink pattern. The blinking pattern of a star, especially one that appears to send a message through its unusual movements, often defies typical expectations. Most stars are steady beacons in the night sky, flickering with a level of consistency that makes their signals straightforward to interpret or ignore. But when a star begins to blink in an irregular, abrupt, or seemingly intentional manner, it transforms into something entirely different, a complex puzzle that commands attention. These stars, often classified as variable stars, or those exhibiting unusual luminous behavior, challenge our understanding of stellar mechanics and encourage closer scrutiny. One particularly intriguing aspect of witnessing such a pattern is the rhythm, or the lack thereof. Instead of a predictable sequence, the star might quiver with rapid-fire flashes that seem to pulse unpredictably. Maybe it blinks quickly twice, then pauses for a moment, only to repeat the pattern with slight variations. Sometimes it might exhibit a slow fade, then abruptly brighten again, like a Morse code transmission. Each pattern holds a sense of tension, like a Morse code signal, a binary message waiting to be deciphered. These effects can appear almost human, as if the star is engaging in an exchange rather than simply doing what stars do, shining. The intensity and duration of each blink play a crucial role in the suspense. Some flashes last only milliseconds, blurring together in the observer's eye to create a flickering haze. Others stretch across seconds, allowing for detailed observation and analysis. As this star shifts through these patterns, viewers are left guessing whether the blinking is a product of natural stellar phenomena, such as pulsations, star spots, or gravitational interactions, or something more mysterious. The way the light fluctuates seems deliberate yet unreadable, like a language spoken in a code that is still waiting to be broken. This gap between what's seen and what can be understood intensifies the experience, making each observation feel like a discovery. The unpredictability of these patterns fuels ongoing speculation. Researchers have documented similar irregular blinking in stars like KIC 846, 2852, famously dubbed Tabby star, which exhibits mysterious dips in brightness that defy simple explanations. Each new observation adds to the intrigue, emphasizing the importance of meticulous recording and analysis. It's almost as if the star is sending signals, not consciously, perhaps, but provocatively enough to spark curiosity. Viewers find themselves transfixed, watching for the repeat of a pattern that may or may not manifest, creating a suspense that's both tantalizing and humbling. Every blink becomes a clue, every irregular pulse a whisper from the cosmos beckoning us to understand its silent language. The first suspicion, could it be a technique? Strikingly, the blinking pattern of that peculiar star has sparked a growing curiosity among astronomers and enthusiasts alike. It doesn't simply flicker. Its pulses are deliberate, rhythmic, almost like Morse code transmitted across the vast emptiness of space. Observers have documented that the star's light dims and brightens with a precision that seems too calculated to be mere cosmic chaos. Instead, these are consistent, patterned flashes that break the natural randomness usually associated with stellar phenomena. The question arises, could there be an underlying purpose behind these deliberate signals? The suspicion that this blinking might be a technique stems from how remarkably structured the pattern appears. Unlike typical stellar variability caused by natural processes, such as stellar rotation, pulsation, or star spots, this star's signals seem to hint at an intentional design. For instance, the intervals between blinking are often uniform, yet vary in a way that suggests modulation. Sometimes, the blinks are rapid, almost pulsar-like, but then suddenly slow down, an inconsistency that implies a form of encoding rather than environmental factors. Such consistent modulation invites a comparison to human-made communication protocols, where timing and rhythm are vital for deciphering meaning. Some researchers propose that this pattern could be a form of interstellar messaging, perhaps an alien civilization attempting contact. This hypothesis is bolstered by the fact that no common natural phenomena perfectly explain these signals. Satellite interference or instrumental artifacts can sometimes mimic interesting patterns, but thorough checks have largely ruled those out. The idea that a civilization might deploy a technique to encode messages within a star's flickering adds a layer of clandestine sophistication to the phenomenon. These signals could function as a sort of cosmic lighthouse, signaling intelligence behind a veneer of randomness meant to attract curious attention without revealing too much. The suspicion that this blinking might be a technique also opens the door to alternative explanations rooted in advanced natural processes. Some scientists speculate it could be a form of stellar self-regulation or an as-yet undiscovered astrophysical phenomenon. The pattern's regularity might be a natural rhythm, an intricate dance of magnetic fields or internal oscillations that mimic the complexity of intelligent signals. However, the sheer precision and the seeming intentional modulation make pure natural explanations increasingly untenable for many. The lingering question remains, are we seeing a cosmic message, or is it just an elaborate sleight of natural physics, cleverly disguised? The pattern continues to keep us on edge, fueling endless debate about what exact technique is behind the star's mysterious blinking. Historical occurrences of mysterious stars. Throughout history, countless tales have woven around stars that seem to send secret messages through their shimmering signals. Ancient navigators observed flickering lights that defied simple explanations, fostering myths and superstition. Some stars would blink with such peculiar timing that they appeared to communicate, their patterns resembling encrypted codes or cryptic Morse signals. The pattern of their flashes often spurred speculation. Was it an intentional message from an alien civilization, or just an optical illusion caused by atmospheric turbulence? These outbursts of light, seemingly deliberate and purposeful, fed into centuries of fascination, leaving behind trails of stories that continue to captivate modern astronomers and enthusiasts alike. In more recent history, notable occurrences include the star Algol, often called the demon star due to its irregular dimming. Its brightness waxes and wanes in rhythmic pulses, reminiscent of a heartbeat or a coded signal. Historically, civilizations such as the Babylonians and Mayans tracked these fluctuations carefully, interpreting them as divine messages or omens. However, in the realm of more mysterious blinking stars, the focus shifts to stars that seem to flicker with no apparent explanation. These sporadic flashes have often been blamed on natural phenomena, like pulsations or irregular stellar activity, but some still hint at something more intriguing, perhaps a sign of alien technology or cosmic phenomena we have yet to fully understand. Many stories are woven around stars that blink in a seemingly coordinated manner, raising questions about whether they are communicating across vast distances. For example, the Fermi paradox touches on the possibility that extraterrestrial civilizations could use such blinking lights as a form of interstellar messaging, an elegant, if subtle, handshake across the cosmos. When a star's blinking pattern diverges from known behavior, researchers painstakingly analyze the light curves, searching for repeating sequences or anomalies. The suspense builds when a star presents a pattern that resists easy explanation, fueling theories that some of these lights could be intentional signals rather than cosmic accidents. Those moments of pattern and silence blend into a complex dance, forever leaving us guessing what message might be hidden within the flickering light. These stories from history and science share one common thread: the allure of the unknown. Whether it's ancient astronomers watching flickering dots in the sky or modern scientists analyzing the rhythmic pulses of distant stars, the blinking signals remain human nature's persistent puzzle. Every flicker carries with it the potential of discovery, and though we may never be certain if it's communication or coincidence, each observed pattern deepens the mystery. The drama of silence interrupted by bursts of light, the rhythmic pulse that defies explanation. These are what make the universe's most enigmatic stars perpetually fascinating, hinting that perhaps, in some way, they're trying to say something just beyond our understanding. Connecting the dots, patterns, or randomness. When observing a star that appears to blink in a pattern that seems deliberate, it evokes a magnetic mixture of intrigue and curiosity. The blinking effect itself can be mesmerizing: a rhythmic flash, a sudden flicker followed by a pause, then another signal. This pattern might seem like a language, a secret code transmitted from the depths of space. Sometimes, the flashes occur in rapid succession, giving the impression of a binary message, while other times they appear sporadically, like a cosmic Morse code waiting to be deciphered. The subtle variation in timing, intensity, and frequency hints at either natural phenomena or something more deliberate concealing itself behind the cosmic curtain. Patterns in these blinking stars often raise questions about whether they are truly random or part of an underlying order. Astrophysicists take notice of these signals because natural processes tend to produce recognizable patterns. Pulsars, neutron stars emitting beams of electromagnetic radiation, are known for their precise, rhythmic blinking, which resembles a lighthouse in the universe. However, pulsars follow highly predictable cycles, which can be distinguished easily from more chaotic flickering. When the pattern appears irregular or demonstrates complexity beyond typical celestial behaviors, some theorists speculate whether intelligent life could be attempting to communicate across the void. This ambiguity fuels ongoing debates. Are these signals just natural cosmic quirks, or are they deliberate messages, waiting for an interested mind to decode the pattern? The suspense deepens as the blinking pattern evolves or shifts unexpectedly. A sequence might start with a recognizable rhythm, but then suddenly morph into something more complex, more layered, like a puzzle unfolding over time. Such variability can stretch the imagination, suggesting either natural phenomena that are not fully understood or signals that are intentionally designed to be ambiguous. For example, the famous fast radio bursts, FRBs, can appear with complex, seemingly patterned structures, yet scientists have only recently begun to analyze their underlying signals. If these are indeed artificial, the question becomes, why choose blinking as a method of communication? Could it be that each pattern is a deliberate attempt to authenticate the message, a way of testing the recipient's ability to recognize intelligence amidst randomness? Looking at the universe through this lens, one realizes how challenging it can be to distinguish between randomness and pattern. The universe is vast, and natural processes, collapsing stars, magnetic disturbances, plasma turbulence, can all produce seemingly meaningful signals. Yet, some patterns appear too precise, too intricate, to be purely coincidental. The echoes of a possible intelligent origin would not necessarily resemble deliberate human communication, but might instead show up as peculiar regularities, repeating sequences, or self-similar structures. The question remains, are we merely witnessing a cosmic coincidence, or could these blinking signals be the universe's way of whispering a complex, encrypted message, an invitation or a warning? Whatever the case, the mystery keeps us glued to the search, staring into the vast darkness, trying to decipher whether these shimmering signals are random anomalies or the first signs of a larger cosmic conversation. Expert analyses and theories. Some scientists are captivated by the way this star's blinking pattern appears deliberate, almost encoded. Its flashes are not completely random. Instead, they display a rhythm that hints at possible communication, or at the very least, an underlying pattern that warrants scrutiny. Think of it like Morse code in the sky, with each flicker acting as a signal, a pause, or a burst of information. The pattern's repetition and pauses evoke a language of sorts, sparking theories that it might be an active attempt at interstellar messaging. The cadence and intervals between blinks are unusually consistent compared to ordinary stellar variability, leading some to believe that it might be a form of non-human intelligence trying to reach out. Astrophysicists observing this star have hypothesized several explanations rooted in natural phenomena, but many lean towards the extraordinary because the rhythmic blinking seems more structured than irregular astrophysical events typically are. One popular speculative theory suggests it could be an artificial structure, like a colossal solar collection array, whose orbit causes the periodic blocking and revealing effects seen from Earth. Others propose the blinking symbolizes some kind of cosmic signal beacon, designed to stand out against the vast, dark canvas of space. The pattern's symmetry, the sharpness of each flash, and the precise timing all strengthen the argument that this isn't just stellar noise. Instead, it might be a coded message that invites decoding. Some theorists delve into the nature of the pattern itself, analyzing the specific intervals between blinks for meaningful sequences. In one hypothesis, the star's blinking resembles prime number spacing, a hallmark of intelligent design, rather than random stellar variability. The speculation is that the pattern could be an intentionally chosen sequence, akin to a cosmic barcode or a Fibonacci-inspired signal, meant to catch the eye of any advanced civilization scanning the universe. The deliberate nature of the blinking pattern fuels a sense of suspense. Is it a signal left purposefully, or is it an extraordinary coincidence? The more complex and ordered the blinking appears, the more intrigue it sparks among those who chase the idea of contact. Adding to the mystery, Some observations reveal a subtle modulation in the blinking rate over time, small shifts that could imply a message in progress or an underlying code that requires deciphering. This ongoing modulation keeps experts guessing, because it suggests the possibility of an evolving pattern rather than a simple natural rhythm. Could it be a handshaking signal, slowly changing as it attempts to communicate in a language that transcends earthly understanding? These persistent questions keep the attention firmly fixed on this star, encouraging both amateur enthusiasts and professional astronomers alike to seek explanations that bridge science and speculation. Whether a message, a natural phenomenon, or something else entirely, the star's blinking remains one of the universe's most tantalizing puzzles. Decoding the possible messages. There's an almost hypnotic quality to how some stars appear to blink or shimmer, especially when observed through telescopes or long-exposure images. What captivates most about these blinking lights is the pattern they produce, sometimes rhythmic, sometimes seemingly erratic, but always hinting at a hidden message or purpose. The rapid succession of bright flashes, often punctuated by moments of darkness, can resemble Morse code or a digital signal if examined closely. Astronomers and enthusiasts alike scrutinize these flashes, attempting to decipher whether they are natural phenomena or something more deliberate. The patterns themselves range from seemingly simple sequences to intricate choreographies of light. For instance, a star might blink twice quickly, pause, then blink 3 more times, creating a Morse-like pattern that could, in theory, encode information. The timing between blinks, sometimes fractions of a second, other times stretched out across seconds, adds another layer of mystery. Could these be clues embedded within a star's natural pulsations? Some argue they might be a fundamental aspect of stellar physics, like pulsating variables or stellar atmospheres going through cyclical changes. But the repetitive, deliberate seeming patterns suggest the possibility of an intentional signal, as if the star itself is sending a message across space. Scientists hold onto the hope that these blinking patterns might uncover new avenues of understanding or even contact. When a pattern resembles known communication codes, such as Morse code, it ignites curiosity about extraterrestrial intelligence deliberately using natural stellar variability to communicate. Take the famous case of KIC 846-2852, also known as Tabby's star, which displayed irregular and dramatic dips in brightness. While most scientists see natural explanations like cometary fragments, some have considered the possibility of an artificial origin, an intentional message, encoded into the star's flickering pattern. When such signals appear, the suspense skyrockets, prompting a frantic search for an underlying code or meaning. In decoding these signals, astronomers combine statistical analysis with pattern recognition, looking for deviations from natural variability. The challenge lies in distinguishing true messages from chaotic stellar behavior. Sometimes, the blinking mimics the rhythms of human languages or mathematical sequences, fueling speculation. The suspense peaks when a series of flashes aligns in a way that defies randomness, hinting at something beyond natural causes. Could a star be transmitting a codified message, a cosmic Morse code designed to grab attention or reach out across the vast void? The very possibility fuels ongoing investigations, teasing us with the idea that perhaps these brief flashes carry stories from the cosmos, waiting for us to interpret them. Technological explanations or interference. When unexplained blinking lights appear in the night sky, one of the first questions that often arises is whether these phenomena can be attributed to technological interference or natural signals. Modern communication infrastructure, especially satellites, is vast and complex, frequently capable of generating signals that might mimic or send confusing visual cues. Overhead satellites, especially those involved in space-based internet networks like Starlink, are designed to reflect sunlight in striking ways, creating rapid blinking or flashing effects that can seem almost deliberate in their pattern. These reflections, despite their technological origin, can sometimes align in ways that produce a mesmerizing staccato of lights, sparking debates about whether they are intentional messages or simply natural-based interference. There's also the factor of terrestrial sources that could cause similar blinking phenomena. Certain high-energy radio frequency signals, whether from radar installations, communication arrays, or even experimental military technology, are capable of inducing visual disturbances or illusions that appear as blinking lights in the sky. These signals can sometimes interfere with optical sensors or camera recordings, causing flickering or strobing effects that look like a message being sent. For example, researchers have documented instances where intense radio pulses have triggered unusual visual phenomena in sensitive equipment, yet the origin of these signals remains unidentified. Could these be random emissions or deliberate attempts to communicate or disguise messages? On a more speculative note, some theories suggest that the blinking pattern itself may be a form of coded communication. Just like Morse code or digital signals, certain blinking patterns could theoretically encode information, either by a natural extraterrestrial sender or as a form of automated signaling from Earth technology. Interference could be accidental, an unintended byproduct of complex systems operating in tandem, yet the pattern's consistency often raises suspicion. In some cases, unusual blinking aligns with known communication sequences or random number patterns, making it difficult to dismiss as mere coincidence. This fuels ongoing debates. Are these just accidental reflections or echoes of active communication? Or maybe they are signals from distant civilizations, caught in the act of trying to send a message amidst a web of overlapping signals and interference. In the end, deciphering whether these luminous blinks are purely technological or something else entirely remains a puzzle. The universe of signals is cluttered with noise, making it hard to tell deliberate messages from chaos. Whether caused by satellite reflections, radio interference, or a yet-to-be-understood natural phenomenon, each flicker seems to whisper a tantalizing possibility, teasing us with the idea that some form of communication, either human or extraterrestrial, may be reaching out. As our technology advances and our instruments become more sensitive, the line between interference and message will likely continue to blur, leaving us with more questions than answers behind a curtain of blinking uncertainty. The role of natural phenomena. Stars are often perceived as unchanging points of light in the night sky, yet many exhibit fascinating blinking or twinkling patterns that seem almost deliberate. These luminous flickers are largely the result of natural phenomena acting upon starlight before it reaches our eyes. The Earth's atmosphere is a chaotic tapestry of air currents, temperature gradients, and varying densities, each contributing to the way light waves bend and shift as they travel through it. This causes the apparent blinking or shimmering effect, often making stars look as if they're sending secret messages through their fluctuating brightness. The phenomenon of star blinking, known as scintillation, occurs because starlight encounters layers of turbulent air. These layers differ in temperature and density, creating pockets of air with slightly different refractive indices. As light passes through, it bends unpredictably, sometimes just slightly, other times more dramatically, altering the star's apparent position and brightness. The faster and more irregular the turbulence, the more erratic the flickering. That vibration and brightness can last fractions of a second or stretch into several seconds, leaving viewers guessing whether they're witnessing an optical illusion, a signal of some cosmic significance, or simply the natural chaos of atmospheric conditions. In addition to atmospheric turbulence, certain natural phenomena in space also contribute to the perception of blinking stars. For instance, some stars are part of binary systems, where two stars orbit each other in close proximity. Their mutual eclipses can cause periodic dimming, creating a flickering effect that's not caused by Earth's atmosphere, but by their individual celestial dance. Similarly, variable stars, which naturally fluctuate in brightness due to internal processes or stellar material cycles, can produce light patterns that seem to pulse and blink unpredictably. These intrinsic factors add a layer of complexity to the mysterious way stars communicate visually, often prompting observers to wonder if their flickering might be more than just atmospheric distortion. One vivid example appears in certain stars like Betelgeuse, known for its irregular brightness changes, which can be mistaken for deliberate signals. Sometimes, astronomers observe a star that seems to blink with nearly hypnotic regularity, sparking curious speculation about extraterrestrial communication. In truth, these patterns are primarily driven by natural causes. Red supergiants like Betelgeuse are known to shed material unevenly, causing changes in their outer layers and brightness. Their blinking effect, therefore, becomes a natural sign of stellar life cycles, not a coded message. Nonetheless, the way these phenomena stretch the boundaries of human perception keeps us captivated, blurring the line between random natural processes and the possibility of cosmic messages secretly encoded in the blinking of distant stars. Could it be extraterrestrial communication? The phenomenon of a star blinking in an unusual, seemingly deliberate pattern has captivated astronomers and enthusiasts alike, especially when the rhythm appears intentional rather than random. Unlike typical stars that emit steady or statistically predictable fluctuations in brightness, this star exhibits a series of rapid, distinct flashes that sometimes resemble Morse code or cryptic signals. These pulses can be irregular, but often follow sequences that spark curiosity, sometimes intensifying, sometimes fading in a way that feels as though it's trying to communicate something. What makes this blinking pattern compelling is its consistency over time. Multiple observations have recorded similar sequences that defy simple explanations like instrumental error or natural variability. Some flashes are sharp, intense bursts lasting just fractions of a second, followed by longer gaps before the next signal. Others seem to flicker rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat or pulsing light. The pattern's ambiguity fuels speculation. Could this sequence be a form of messaging directed at us? Is it a sign that something artificial, perhaps extraterrestrial in origin, is attempting to send a coded transmission through the cosmos? The suspense grows because, despite advances in telescopic technology and signal analysis, no definitive source or explanation has been confirmed. The idea that this blinking star might be an alien communication protocol taps into the core of our curiosity about the universe's potential for life beyond Earth. The signal's unpredictable rhythm could mimic a form of information transmission, perhaps a beacon or an intentional message designed to stand out against the cosmic background noise. Such signals might not be meant for humans specifically, but could be part of a broader set of signals emitted by an extraterrestrial civilization attempting to establish contact with intelligent life. The challenge lies in deciphering whether these patterns are meaningful or merely a natural quirk. Still, the possibility stokes imagination and keeps researchers on edge, probing the data for messages hidden in the star's flickering dance. While natural explanations, such as stellar variability or interstellar dust, cannot be fully ruled out, they often struggle to account for the precise, patterned nature of these flashes. Some hypotheses suggest that the star's blinking could result from unusual planetary activity or magnetic phenomena. Others entertain the idea that the observed pattern might stem from something entirely unknown, an undiscovered stage of stellar life cycle or a new form of natural pulsation. Yet, amidst these scientific debates, the most tantalizing question remains: could this be a deliberate, intelligent message? The pattern's subtle complexity, unpredictability, and clarity in its signals keep the door open for the notion that we're being subtly reached across cosmic distances, inviting us to interpret a message that might someday unlock new understanding or deepen the mystery even further. Historical analogies and cultural significance. The blinking of this distant star, appearing as though it's communicating through a series of deliberate signals, echoes ancient human tendencies to interpret patterns as messages from the universe. Historically, societies have long attributed significance to celestial phenomena, stars, in particular, as divine signs or omens. From the ancient Egyptians aligning their pyramids with specific stars to the Chinese interpreting star patterns as auspicious or inauspicious, The act of watching celestial movements has always carried layers of cultural and symbolic weight. When this star blinks or flashes in a repeating pattern, it evokes memories of those traditions, prompting cultures to ask whether they are witnessing a cosmic code rather than a mere natural event. Across millennia, stars and their behaviors have served as metaphors for communication and mystery. In medieval times, sailors relied heavily on stellar navigation, reading the flickering light of distant stars to find their way across uncharted waters. The recurrence of certain star patterns or unusual changes in brightness sometimes sparked stories of divine messages, warnings from gods, or signs of pivotal moments. Today, the vivid blinking of this star invites a modern analogy. Is it our universe's way of sending a message, echoing how ancient gazers first sought meaning in the night sky? The suspense lies in the pattern itself, sometimes rapid, sometimes slow, sometimes seemingly random, building anticipation that we are not alone in deciphering signals beyond human comprehension. Culturally, the idea of stars blinking or pulsating has been woven into mythologies around the world as symbols of hope, warning, or destiny. For some indigenous peoples, celestial movements are a storytelling language, each flicker a word or phrase conveying ancestral wisdom or warnings. In Western cultures, stars have often been associated with guidance and destiny. Think of the Star of Bethlehem guiding wise men, or the North Star leading explorers. When a star exhibits a blinking pattern that resembles sending a Morse code or a cryptic message, it rekindles these age-old associations. People wonder if this is a modern-day celestial cipher, a cosmic communication possibly linked to extraterrestrial intelligence, or a reflection of universe's own narrative about meaning and connection. What makes this blinking star especially significant is not just the pattern itself, but the collective imagination it sparks. It's a universal phenomenon, yet each culture draws from its own history of interpretive frameworks. Taoist philosophies contemplating the universe as an interconnected whole, or modern scientists pondering whether we are experiencing a form of alien outreach. The suspense sustains itself because, despite our technological advances, the universe still holds secrets that remind us of our smallness and curiosity. That blinking pattern is more than just a flicker in space. It's a reflection of our enduring desire to find meaning, connect with something greater, and perhaps one day understand whether this luminous message is a cosmic hello or an accidental signal lost in the vast void. Global observations and reports. Across the globe, observers have noted a fascinating pattern in the behavior of a star that seems to communicate through a distinctive blinking rhythm. Unlike the steady glow of typical stars, this celestial object pulses with an almost hypnotic cadence, its rapid flickers interspersed with pauses that feel deliberate, almost purposeful. These pulses, captured by powerful telescopes from observatories in different continents, showcase a pattern that brims with irregularity, sometimes intensifying in frequency, other times snailing down into near silence. The unpredictability adds a layer of intrigue, hinting that something more than natural celestial mechanics may be at play. Communities of astronomers and astrophysicists have documented consistent reports of this blinking phenomenon, emphasizing its sporadic yet rhythmic nature. From regions as disparate as Western Europe and Eastern Asia, observations reveal that the star's flashes sometimes arrive in clusters, while at other times they seem to space out in perfect synchronicity with a sort of silent Morse code. The variability in timing and intensity, not always predictable, keeps researchers guessing. Some reports describe moments when the star appears to wink, blinking rapid fire for several seconds, then pausing in a manner that almost resembles a deliberate pause embedded within a message. Such delays can range from fractions of a second to several seconds, heightening the suspense surrounding its communication potential. Reports collected over multiple observation sessions point to a recurring pattern of what could be called intentionality. Several astronomers have noted that the blinking intensifies in certain intervals or aligns with specific cosmic events, although no concrete link has been established yet. A few independent observers have even suggested that the star's erratic yet patterned flickers resemble a kind of signaling, perhaps an attempt at contact or an anomaly generated by some unknown natural process. The global consensus remains cautious. Scientists acknowledge that while the pattern is captivating, it's still unclear whether this is a message from an alien civilization or an exotic natural phenomenon. The key lies in the detailed, consistent documentation from various vantage points worldwide, serving as a collective effort to decode what appears to be a binary dialogue encrypted in photon flashes. Ultimately, the ongoing worldwide investigations echo a mixture of hope and skepticism. The blinking star's behavior acts like a cosmic code, one that teases humanity with the possibility of contact, yet continually defies immediate understanding. Close-ups from different observatories show that the pattern is not uniform. It appears to shift and sometimes fracture, creating suspenseful moments where military-grade telescopes zoom in, trying to capture the smallest shimmer. It feels almost as if the star is sending out a gentle, rhythmic pulse, waiting patiently for the right moment to reveal its secrets, or so the whispers of the data suggest. Every new report deepens the mystery, leaving observers with more questions than answers and spinning the tale of a celestial message waiting to be deciphered at the edge of our understanding. Implications of interstellar messaging. A blinking signal in the vast silence of space feels like a whisper carried over impossible distances, a deliberate pattern aimed at capturing attention amid the cosmic noise. When a star twinkles with an irregular pattern, its light seemingly pulsing or blinking with purpose, it raises questions that ripple through scientific communities and philosophical ponderings alike. Such signals suggest a form of communication, or at the very least a distress signal, an invitation or warning sent by an intelligent extraterrestrial entity. The blinking pattern may encode complex messages, much like Morse code, or serve as a beacon designed to stand out against the backdrop of natural stellar activity. These blinking phenomena challenge our understanding of what constitutes meaningful interstellar messaging. They imply that advanced civilizations might adopt methods that transcend traditional radio signals, favoring visual pulses that can be detected over longer distances and through interstellar dust. The pattern's timing, frequency, and duration become critical clues, hinting at whether we are witnessing an intentional message or a cosmic coincidence. For example, the famous WOW signal displayed a sudden, narrow-band radio burst that pointed to artificial origin. While not visual, it echoed the broader implication that signals with specific patterns could be extraterrestrial communication if they resembled structured, coded sequences rather than random cosmic noise. The implications extend beyond mere detection. They excite the possibility that interstellar communication might evolve into a kind of language, a means for civilizations to establish contact. It raises questions about how intelligent species choose to signal across light years, what symbols or patterns they presume we might understand, and whether they adapt their signals based on our technological limitations. A series of blinking lights, if recognized as intentional, could open a dialogue spanning generations, creating a shared cosmic code. Such messages could also carry cultural information, technological blueprints, or even philosophies encoded in a carefully designed pattern of flashes. Considering the philosophical implications, blinking signals challenge our perceptions of loneliness and the universe's quiet vastness. They suggest that we are not alone in orchestrating subtle messages amid the stars, waiting for someone to decipher them. The suspense lies not just in detecting the pattern, but in interpreting its meaning, whether it's a greeting, a warning, or an invitation. Each flicker prompts us to ask whether we're being watched, how we should respond, and what it means to reach out to distant intelligences through pulses of light. The possibility that a star's blinking is sending a cryptic message keeps humanity pondering our place in the cosmos, cautiously hopeful, endlessly curious, and forever on the edge of understanding a greater dialogue playing out just beyond our sight. The ongoing search for answers. The peculiar blinking pattern of a distant star, suddenly catching the eye of astronomers and enthusiasts alike, ignites curiosity that refuses to fade. Its intermittent flashes don't follow the predictable rhythms associated with natural stellar behavior. No steady pulsations, no familiar flickering. Instead, the light seems to communicate in an erratic yet strangely deliberate cadence, as if it's attempting to send a message. This pattern, with its rapid, irregular twinkles interwoven with moments of silence, resembles a Morse code or a sign language struggling to break through cosmic noise. Scientists have observed that these flashes occur unpredictably, sometimes in clusters, sometimes separated by long pauses, adding an extra layer of mystery to an already perplexing signal. The ongoing search for answers revolves around understanding whether these blinking signals are purely astrophysical phenomena or something more extraordinary, perhaps an indication of extraterrestrial intelligence. Researchers employ a broad arsenal of tools: high-speed photometers, radio antennas, and even deep learning algorithms designed to pick up subtler signals hidden within the star's flickering dance. For instance, the Breakthrough Listen project scans thousands of stars, analyzing light curves in real time, seeking patterns that could hint at artificial origin. The star's blinking, in particular, stands out because it does not align with known stellar behaviors such as flares or pulsations, which tend to be more uniform or predictable. Each observation deepens the enigma. Sometimes, astronomers detect what looks like a deliberate pause, an unexpected silence that feels intentional before a rapid burst of light. It's as though the star's signals are trying to encode information, but their true meaning remains elusive. Could this be a form of communication designed to stand out amidst the cosmic background? Or is it a natural, but as yet unknown astrophysical process that somehow mimics deliberate signaling? The suspense keeps mounting as every new data set offers more questions than answers, encouraging the scientific community to refine theories and revisit old assumptions about the universe's quiet, yet potentially communicative actors. Despite extensive investigations, no definitive conclusion has emerged, yet the pattern persists, fueling speculation and more detailed scrutiny. When a star blinks like this, it's as if it's sending Morse code from a galaxy far, far away, an invitation to decipher its message. However, the lack of consistency and the challenge of distinguishing natural phenomena from potential signals make this an ongoing puzzle. The almost hypnotic rhythm of its flickering acts as both an allure and a barrier, drawing researchers in while reminding them how little we truly understand about the cosmos. The search for answers continues, driven by the tantalizing possibility that, somewhere amid the irregular flashes, we might find a message waiting to be decoded or an indication of a deeper cosmic language we are only beginning to comprehend. In the vast darkness of space, some stars exhibit a peculiar flickering pattern that suggests more than just the natural twinkle of a distant celestial body. Instead, they pulse with a rhythm that can seem almost deliberate, like a Morse code message broadcast across light years. This blinking effect is often characterized by sudden, sharp changes in brightness, oscillating between near invisibility and a blinding glow within fractions of a second. The pattern can be irregular or follow a certain sequence, leaving astronomers and enthusiasts alike captivated and utterly perplexed. What makes this phenomenon fascinating is how precise it appears, yet how unexplainable it remains. Some stars seem to communicate, intentionally or not, through their flickering signals. The alternating brightening and dimming create a suspenseful effect that energizes curiosity. When observing such a star, the flickering can seem almost alive, sometimes flashing like a heartbeat, other times blinking in rapid succession, as if gasping for attention. Over time, patterns emerge that compel observers to speculate whether this is a natural fluctuation rooted in stellar physics or a sign of something more extraordinary. For example, certain types of pulsars display consistent bursts at specific intervals, hinting at highly precise mechanisms within their dense cores. But in the case of these unorthodox, blinking stars, the pattern often defies conventional astrophysical explanations, suggesting that their signals might be messages, intentional or accidental. The vividness of their blinking pattern enhances the mystery. Bright flashes stand out starkly against the dark cosmos, drawing attention to how rhythmically they seem to communicate. Occasionally, a star might streak across the field of view with a rapid succession of brightening and dimming, mimicking a binary code or a visual sequence designed to convey something unspoken. Observers have documented instances where the blinking pattern suddenly shifts, sometimes becoming more rapid, other times slowing down, adding layers of suspense. These unpredictable variations keep us guessing about the underlying process, whether it involves celestial phenomena, cosmic debris, or something yet undiscovered. Examples from recent observations illustrate just how diverse these messages can seem. In some cases, the blinking aligns with natural stellar variability, like star spots or accretion processes, but in others, the pattern appears intentionally structured, raising intense interest. For instance, the enigmatic star tabbies star exhibits irregular dimming that lasts for days, but some have theorized these fluctuations could be signs of extraterrestrial engineering. Such stars, with their complex blinking patterns, act as cosmic riddles, sending signals or perhaps simply revealing their secrets gradually, one flash at a time. Ultimately, their persistent flickering keeps scientists watching, waiting for the moment when pattern and message converge, if they ever do. As the star's blinking pattern continues to dance across the sky, the mysterious rhythm leaves us all wondering, are we witnessing a cosmic code or simply a stunning natural phenomenon? Its rhythmic flashes seem to pulse with purpose, each blink sending a subtle message that keeps us guessing and craving more answers. This mesmerizing display reminds us that the universe still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered, and sometimes the most captivating signals are the ones we can't fully interpret. Yet, if this sparked your curiosity, be sure to stay tuned for more incredible discoveries, because the cosmos has so much more to reveal. Keep looking up and keep questioning. Who knows what message the stars might send next?